Well, it's your boy D. Marie, aka D. Marie, aka the Faceless Caseworker. And today I want to talk about YouTube, podcasts, and giving psychos and psychotics platforms. You know, for the last couple of years through the pandemic, I've seen a lot of psychotics who've been released from prison. Now, shout out to everybody who's been released from prison, doing their thing, however they're doing it. But let's be honest, there's some guys on YouTube who have been given platforms for the benefit of larger platforms who are some dangerous people. Now, I'm not going to go into names because I don't want none of these dudes coming to my doorstep looking to snatch my Amazon packages and my organs. All right, so we're going to leave it, but we all know who we're talking about. There's plenty of them. Just type in ex-con or ex-murderer on any one of these podcasts, and you will find many of the guests have committed multiple murders, all type of sick stuff, right? And of course, it's juice and fuel for everybody on the internet because they want to watch a convicted murderer or whatever talk about stuff and stabbing people and all type of stuff like that. It's pretty sick. You know, at one time, journalism and stuff like that was held to those who went to college and spoke, and they would go to the communities of those who have been in trouble with the law and go speak to them directly. Now we have some people who haven't even been graduated from school. And I say this, I guess there's a voice for everybody. You know, I guess there's some slow people out there who will pay attention to what some of them got to say. But after you leave, because everybody uses some kind of storyline or something like that to get their platinum jumping, and then they try to go on to other stuff. But you got former still current drug addicts, heroin addicts, former gangbangers or current gangbangers that came out of prison still promoting the gang stuff with podcasts. Now, it'd be great if these people were reformed. And most of these dudes aren't reformed. They still doing the same thing. They're like 60 years old, still trying to bring in 12-year-olds into blood sets. That should just be, they shouldn't be allowed to be continuing that nonsense. You want to, find a way to survive. It's cool because we know it's hard to get a job. Not in New York. You can still get a job with a felony. Like I said, I'm the Faceless Caseworker. If you need that information, you have felonies, you live in New York State, I can show you how to get jobs. All right, but back to the main story at hand. You got mad dudes online getting podcasts just for checks because they can't continue their criminal element the way they want. Some of them possibly still do. Who knows? But they can't do what they really used to do back in the day. Some of these dudes went to jail at ages so young, there's no way possible they made any money on the street. Their claim to fame is just jail. And S in the box. SHU. How they stared at a wall for 10 years. And now they want to talk about they was the big homie. Now all that stuff, I'll leave it for the gang, for the gang dudes to decide. Because I don't really care about that. But the point is that do you think that some of these dudes should have platforms? People who barely can even read? Should they be out here giving info and having people watching what they're saying? Promoting the nonsense, thinking that they can go through? Because now I'm looking at, back in the day, Jadakiss said that gangsters don't die, they move and live to Miami. Maybe it's true, but people just say gangsters always die. But maybe gangsters don't die. They go to jail and now they get podcast, right? Gangsters don't die, they get podcasts now, Jadakiss. They get YouTube pages where they just yell at each other and talk nonsense, right? But what do you think? You think some of these dudes who barely can read, could probably spell YouTube, should have podcasts? I think anybody should have a right, but should we be filtering some of the stuff these dudes say? You can't even filter anything anymore. There's no editorial company filtering some of the stuff these dudes are putting out here. They don't have any other way to make any other money. I don't believe that, to be honest. There's many ways that people make, but they want to use their brains to develop that. It's just the easy way out. Take your criminal background that most of us have out in these streets. Most of us been doing our thing, right? Shout out to Lost Boys. Shout out to all the people that's out there, YGs, OGs, Crips, Bloods, EBKs, all you dudes, and people who kick puppies, people who kick stray kittens in the street in the Bronx. Shout out to them too, even though that's an evil thing, but they need love too, because clearly they need love. They're kicking kittens. All right, now you have a lot of people in here getting. Now I'm not hating, because I make a pretty decent dollar coming back from where I'm coming back from. You know what I mean? So I don't complain. It's not a big deal. Shout out to everybody out here living a good life. But the thing is that we all know these messages are being passed, and some of these cats have nothing good to say. You know, it's like giving a microphone to a trash compactor if it could speak. Like Oscar the Grouch on Sesame Street. Would you give him a podcast? All he would do is say negative stuff all day. It's like having a grumpy Smurf, whatever the hell that miserable Smurf. You give him a podcast, that's all he's gonna talk about is miserable stuff all day, right? So what do you think? These people should have podcasts, man? Should they be out here wibbly wobbling with their role? Because there's only so many OG gangster stories you can tell. You gotta go on to other stuff. If they do that, it's a great thing, but I don't know. Some of these dudes can't even spell or read, so, you know, shout out to the gangsters who can read and spell. Excuse me. Had something good to eat earlier. It wasn't prison food. It was some good stuff. But what do you think, guys? It's going to make this video too long. What do you think? Some of these... Because I know people support it. Anything that's ratchet, they support it. You know, I always heard the story about the guy who killed Larry Davis in the Bronx. And now I see online, because I heard about it. And now I see he's online, and he's probably he's all over the place telling his stories, how many people he killed in prison. You know, shout out to him. Free that man. It's a good thing he's out. But would you invite this guy to Thanksgiving dinner? Would you invite, what is his name? Blue? Baby Blue or something like that? I don't want to mess up the guy's name. He looks like a dangerous man. And I don't want no problems with that guy. You know, I don't want him to be at me at a comedy show. I see him in the front row with all blue on, talking about he needs to talk to me. So I don't got no problems with Mr. Blue. You know, you can come to a barbecue I'm having. You can cut up some steaks, but not me. All right? No ops. There's no Bloods and Crips over here. But if you want to cut up some steaks at a barbecue, we can use a man who's quick with knives over here, right? We can chop up some steak. You know some good Muslim brothers you did time with. You can make some halal steak that you chop up, brother. All right? But shout out to him. I think his name is Baby Blue. Blue Boy. I'm sorry. Blue Boy. His name is Blue Boy. Check him out. He's all over the place. Now, I'm sure you get it, but he sounds like a pretty good guy. But only thing I was thinking about is, will he ever snap and just like go crazy one day and start stabbing people? He said he don't want to go back to jail, but everybody comes out of jail and says that. You know, with a little fame on the line, and you get his own podcast to talk about jail stories. Will that sustain him? I don't know, man. Stay tuned. I wish Blue Boy well. You know, whoever he killed. You know, pray for the families. Hope for them. None of them go looking for him. Because that's always another story. The streets is crazy out here. You know, shout out to everybody who got out of jail. Anybody who following this, please hit the subscribe button. Right? Like and subscribe this. It's rough out in these streets. But what do you guys think, man? Should we be tuning into these some of these sociopaths podcasts? People who can't read, spreading bad information. Should we just tune in for information purposes, or should we take ourselves and say, you know, we need to filter some of this stuff, man. We need to do something. Right? We need to do something, man. What do you guys think? Hit the subscribe button, like, drop some comments. If not, I guess not. It's the Faces Caseworker, aka D. Marie Comedian. Until next time, buddy.